Welcome to Shotgun Story, the podcast that has conversations with indie creators about music, meaning, and the point of it all, so that you may be inspired by the journeys of other artists who are doing it for themselves, and maybe gain a little more understanding as to why it matters quite so much that you keep creating. So we're recording this interview from a room at Thornley's guest house where we performed at Nyoni Fair last night. And it's a real honour to be up here north in Eshowe. And I have Lizzy Gaisford here with me. She's a singer-songwriter, a multi-instrumentalist in the band the Fishwives. She's also an ecologist with a particular passion for frogs. Hi Lizzy.
Hello.
Why music? What drew you here?
I think it's probably like this for everybody who's in music family. It's just when there's music in the house and you grow up singing and you grow up in choirs and just music in the house. And particularly my father's sister, Jane Gaisford, is a musician. And she's just been a role model creatively my whole life. She's a fantastic guitarist, instrumentalist. And I just kind of always wanted to be like Jane and be a musician.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so how old were you when you started learning?
I was probably about 11. Yeah, at our little school here, just like basic guitar lessons just for the church band at the convent with Sister Dolores. That's where many people started. I refused to go for proper piano lessons, and I'm really, really glad that I did that because everybody who did just doesn't play anymore. God bless Sister Dolores. Lovely in many ways, but probably quite a hardcore piano teacher. And so just sort of, I'd see Jane maybe once a year throughout my teenage years, and she'd give me this marathon lesson, and I'd kind of be left to figure it out the rest of the year and then see her next time.
And multi-instrumentalist, talk me through. You played guitar, you play...
Been playing a bit of bass recently because it's just someone's got it. And then we've always had a piano at home, thanks to a good friend here, Dave Stark. He's given me some particular challenges of, piano pieces to learn and so on, and the kind of collaborations like that, which kind of put my arse into gear. But I wouldn't call myself a pianist or any of these things actually. Yeah. And then I was also inherited an amazing, huge Scandali accordion a while ago.
Wow.
And so what do you do but just kind of start fiddling with it, and then you start playing that. But jack of all trades, but certainly like not master of any of them at all.
I mean, I saw you play last night. I beg to differ.
Thank you.
Okay, so 5 career highlights.
Okay.
To give context to someone who's never heard your music before.
All right. So with my band, the Fishwives, the album that we brought out in 2019, that was a very big deal. I mean, it was like a long time coming and took us a long time to get there, but we managed and we made it. And that was just so good, obviously. And then just like certain experiences. So when we were like very, very new, we just got this opportunity to go and play Opi Kopi, and it was just the biggest deal because we were just like it was just literally out of nowhere, and we'd just been kind of starting and buggering around really.
Wonderful.
And jamming, and suddenly we were on the stage and it was like, what's going on, Playing the Cape Town Fringe Festival was also great just for the experience of being in the City Hall and just the incredible lighting done by our friend Mr. Farmer. Those kind of more like experiences.
Totally. In fact, speaking of those experiences, when you say Fringe, tell us about the Grahamstown Arts Festival.
Oh man. So it's really like, so I mean I studied there and we all did, and it's just that throw together thing, where all the artists are just chucked in one place, and what do you do but play? As the Fishwives, me and Celery and another girl who was with us called Nicole, we were kind of jamming, and then we thought, okay, well now there's this festival coming to town, what do you do but make it cohesive and give your band a name and find a stage?
Yeah.
And that's it. And what was so important for me during those years, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about what it was, all of it, was the way so in that formative, that early 20s time, to just have towns suddenly overtaken by all of these artists and people who were being artists, and for like getting this realization that, hey, you can actually do this.
Yeah.
People are doing this. This is what people are doing.
Yeah.
They're not doing other things. They're being artists, and they're putting their posters up and they're dedicated. So that was, I think, that thing, just like
so
that annual reminder.
Your ultimate why. What drives you to keep creating?
You can't not. that's it. Like, it's where everything goes. It's where everything that's inside goes to not be inside anymore.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's writing the song or writing anything or playing the instrument, it just feels better afterwards, regardless. I mean, I was very, very disciplined during lockdown of just like, you have to play music every single day. If you don't, all the wheels come off.
Yeah.
I was chatting to a young friend of mine. She's 11. She was having a bit of a hard time, but she plays the piano. And we were just saying, yes, she's always going to have that. And
yeah,
whenever you're having a hard time, you've got that.
Incredible gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Undervalued tool, coping mechanism, all of it.
Yeah. What is your songwriting process like? Actually, and in fact, Dave had said to me that you are quintessentially South African as a songwriter. You didn't try to be international. You didn't try to be something that you're not. You create from a South African perspective in the words that you use. It was so interesting to hear, and then to watch you play last night and to see so much of how real that is. And in fact, that's the music that I like. It's so exciting. What is your process like?
Just first on the South African thing, was attached into the previous question, like why to keep creating. It's like, it's also just the way of documenting what's around and telling the stories. That's it. And they're like these tiny stories that go overlooked and these tiny little details that are so significant. So it's kind of about, I find the importance of that. And the South Africanism thing, it always kind of bugged, we all listen to, I don't know, well, I suppose in like the folk kind of genre, we listen to a lot of American music, and we're so familiar with their landscapes. You know, the feeling of flipping Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, totally.
And
yeah,
getting off the bypass at, you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you mean.
All the the lyrics to draw and like gone off my head. But we have our own of those things.
Absolutely.
And that's why I also love Afrikaans music so much, because like the language and the place is just connected,
Yeah.
As die reën oor Kroonstad vorm, which reën Malan, there it is.
Yeah.
We know what that looks like. You're going to experience it when you drive home tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So it's like, it's about expressing our own landscapes. And why talk about wolves when we have jackals? They're our jackals. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's the thing. But then the process, so it would usually be a little bit of a fruitling around and a guitar or a piano or whatever, and a little bit of a melody. And then the words usually most of my songs, the words are just completely like accidental and are kind of just there to hold the melody, like the shapes of the words to hold onto the melody. And so that first line is usually out of absolute nowhere, and then it generally would form around that.
Yes.
The moments I kind of think, I want to sit down and write this kind of song, it doesn't work. It's just and the rest of the song forms, and then it'll take a long time sometimes quick, but usually sits and stews for a really long time.
Yeah.
Unfinished for years sometimes.
That's familiar.
Yeah, right.
And you grew up here in Zululand.
Yeah.
Do you speak any other languages besides English and Afrikaans?
I went to German school.
Yeah.
I'm pretty badass at the Deutsch.
Very nice.
And then, I kind of grew up, I guess, like everybody around here, like, learning basic Zulu, functional Zulu. My father used to teach Zulu, which was good.
Wow.
And then when I went down to the Eastern Cape, I really took it upon myself to try and get better at Xhosa, and took it in my first year and like made a conscious effort. And then I was living in the Cape and carried on there. So I kind of, this stage, when I'm down there, people would know that I'm from here because there's bits of Zuluisms. And then when I'm back here, all the old Gogos cuck me out for speaking this Xhosa language. I just find that it's really an important thing to at least make an effort in such a multilingual country.
Totally, because one of the things is that you do have a few words in other languages in your songs, don't you?
Yeah, well, it's as it should be, because that's how we talk here.
Yeah.
You don't, around here, it's not about getting a vaccination. It's about, hey, have you had your jova? And that's, we've appropriated these words and mixed them. And I just, it's also the whole, like, that Mandela quotes about how when you speak to a person in their mother tongue, you speak to their heart.
Yeah.
And just by making an effort, you kind of, there's a lot more connection to be made. I found, at least.
Yeah. No, wonderful. And up here in Eshowe, what's the music scene like?
So my good friend Dave Stark, who I believe you're going to be interviewing at some stage, he's kind of been the resident muser. It's not a wedding up here unless Dave's doing the thing, and then has brought out 2 really amazing albums. I'm really honoured to play minor roles on.
Yeah.
So it's kind of him. And then when my partner and our drummer, Strato, and I moved here, it was just the most natural thing that we started a band, and instead of Dave playing the pub alone, now there was the two of us too.
Yeah.
And just like, it's just covers and it's just fun. And like, and that's where it was also like, oh, well, there's a guitarist and a drummer. Okay, well, here's a bass, just do it.
Yeah.
And all the YouTube lessons are there and like whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just, I also just love cover music so much, like I remember being a bit of a songwriter snob, original music snob at some stage. Oh, so-and-so plays covers. And I'm like really ashamed of that because those songs, you play the songs that people love and that mean things to them. And then you're doing your job. That's the archetypal purpose.
Totally.
It's to write, obviously, but then the other side of it, that ancient thing of being a musician, you're there in the church square or the town, whatever,
Yeah.
You're playing for the king. You're there to make people feel things.
Totally.
And to bring joy. That's joyful stuff. The
Yes.
cover music, the jewel music.
And that band is called the Katembas.
Yeah. Which is a tribute to our friend Peter Engblom, who is our resident artist here. Resident artist madman. Just like a really lovely, complicated, but I think he was a big inspiration for a lot of creative people around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he passed away in October last year.
Oh,
And he used to drink very, very wine-heavy Katembas. Quite a lot, which might have been part of his undoing in the end. So yeah, it's for Peter.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a wonderful story. And obviously everyone in the small town knows that.
I think so.
Yeah. What is it like for you to collab with other musicians in these bands?
It's different. I'd just like to just draw on Celery, my musical sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we met in early varsity and we both had pet rats and we were both confused as to whether we wanted to study natural sciences or fine art.
Yeah.
And we both played guitar and we just kind of, it just was normal and lovely. And so, yeah, really like I can see us playing together as old ladies. So it's really been, the whole thing has been creatively writing together.
Yeah.
I think we've got a really cool thing going. It makes me really, really happy to sit in the room with her.
Yeah.
With the guitar in her lap, Yeah, it's really cool.
It was so nice to see you guys play and how different your voices are
Okay.
to each other.
Oh, cool.
And how they complement each other.
It's like a...
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh, that one song that you did last night about the murder with Daisy.
Yes.
And then to hear Strata's shouting in the background, what is it? Let me go. Let me go.
This is Daisy's like revenge. All that was a Celery's line, all that was left was a pile of clothes on the floor and a thank you note and 2 eyeballs.
It's so nice. There is nothing cliched about your guys' songwriting. Oh, it's too wonderful. Yeah, it was exciting and funny and a real joy to watch. What do you predict for the future of live music?
Strato was reading, I can't remember the guy's name, but a guy who's a historian who studied pandemics in history and says that inevitably when this stuff goes down, it comes with a time of austerity, economic depression, increased conservativeness, turn to like religion for a time, kind of like a dark period.
Yeah.
And then inevitably there's an explosion. On my 21st birthday, a friend of ours put his arm around my shoulders and he said to me, and he's got this voice and he says, "Lizzie, don't believe what all these old farts tell you. It just keeps getting better. Party, party, party."
That's so cool.
He's got this laugh. Okay. And so summing up of that article was that the 3 Ps of plague, pestilence and pandemic are inevitably replaced by the 3 Ps of party, party, party. And we don't just mean, like party, it's just in general celebration and abundance. And I really believe that. And I keep telling people this, that it's like, it's going to be amazing when it breaks open, when this shit's over. Like, we must be excited.
Yes.
It's going to be great. And like, everyone's going to want to do it.
Oh my gosh. From your lips to God's ears. Yes, I'm for that. So, I mean, what makes you continue creating? Because I know you don't do it full time, but what keeps pulling you back?
It goes back to the beginning, like the why. It's like you have to, and it's the reflection of what's around. And like I said, it's not full time, but it's very much my identity. This is what I do. And I also think what's also really cool is I'm just like chatting to so many friends recently, and everyone's having like existential crises about their jobs and like, is this what I really want to be doing? And blah, blah, blah. And like for me, I can do any work, and I've done lots of strange work for money, and it's never affected my sense of self.
Totally.
Because to me, I'm still And I'm lucky for that, I think, you know, that's, you can whore yourself out doing spreadsheets.
Absolutely.
If you have to. Because I'm a musician and you can go home and then like stay up all night writing a song.
Yes. That is really well put.
Yeah.
I think that's the crux of it. Viktor Frankl said that when you have a why, you can deal with any how.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. And I suppose when you are a musician, you are lucky. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. The feedback is so valued when you think you're doing something that might be insignificant and someone comes to you and it's like, wow. I mean, your set last night, like, I have not seen our town sit and listen like that. Really, like, wow. You know, if it was hitting everybody.
Thank you.
And that's important. Like, it's an important job to be doing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
You're incredible. In light of everything that we've spoken about, do you have advice for other musicians and artists?
Yeah, just to do it, to go inside and play it like you, do it like you. Don't think of you're the best. You're not doing anybody any favors trying to be something that's not, obviously. I mean, it sounds like the most cliched obvious, but it's real. Like, hey.
Yes.
Just
1,000%.
It's like your job here. If you're going to be being an artist, your job is to do it your way because that's your job.
Totally.
We don't need two of the same people.
And thank God that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I think that's great advice. Just be you. How can people get in touch with you or hear your music or what you guys are doing and when the next shows are?
What's obviously the social medias.
Mm-hmm.
Just like such a ball ache. Like we really what at some point, like, I got so pissed off. There was a festival application and they wanted to know how many Facebook likes we had. And I mean, I get it. I do get it. But I also, like, I just wanted to go and like delete our Facebook page after that. Oh, fuck this. Honestly, like, because it takes work. We've debated this with everybody till the cows come home. No one likes it.
Nobody
does. And it's part of the work that you got to do. And I respect that hugely. And it's hard for everybody. We put a video out once. Someone had just said, oh, like, you guys need to get more active on social media. So we all like put on 80s exercise gear and like did an aerobics class.
And got active.
Like, stupid shit like that.
It's wonderful.
But yeah, I mean, obviously the Facebooks, we're on Spotify. Our album is called Algae. Mm-hmm. Fishwives Algae is there. Got some songs to release that we're kind of planning on making another full album before the shit hit the fan. So we've got a couple that'll be coming out at some stage. Yeah,
wonderful.
A couple more.
Well, we will play out with one of your songs and then I'll have links. And I really recommend that you go and listen because it is authentic South African music that is properly good.
Thank you.
Thank you for chatting.
Thank you. It's awesome.
Now keep doing what you're doing.
It's raining, frogs, and yeah.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful to be here in this. It feels like a jungle here.
Yeah, well, it is, yeah. It's what's special about the town. It's like built around a forest in and out. Like we take it for granted, but it's like to get from one side of town to the other, you got to drive through this amazing indigenous forest. Like who else sees bush babies on the way home after the pub?
And in fact, if you're listening and whether you're from SA or not and you're looking to tour here, you should reach out to Lizzie and maybe set up some shows here in Eshowe. There's a beautiful crowd of people who would love that, I'm sure. And it's worth coming here.
Come to Eshowe, get a life move to Zululand, they say.
If you are an independent artist whose passion for what you do can inspire or fuel others, get in touch. I'd love to chat. You can find me on shotguntory.com.
You've been listening to another production from Solid Gold Podcasts.
Cruising through the Kalahari mixed CDs and not a worry, drive horse, Coca-Cola, the wind in my hair. My, what a beautiful scene, this is the dusty dream. But as the sun sets behind me, my tank burns dry. So I gather all the wood I can, heavy fence posts, In the sand I built my fire in the middle of the lonely road. My, what a starry sight, this is the darkest night. Far off in the fair, I hear a lion moan. The breeze in the Kalahari, see my bones drying down before me, rusted metal and tired decay. My, what a freaky scene, this is the boneyard dream. Till the dust stream fades to one breakdown glee.